Howdy gamers, Old Gamer Guy here. Welcome to another Stranded Alien Dawn video. I actually intended to work on my Stellaris campaign, but I got up and I loaded up Stranded Alien Dawn and I started playing and I got wrapped up in it, and several hours later, here we are. But I made one video showing the beginning of this game. That was in the springtime when we crash landed on this alien world. And it is now in late fall, and I am just now realizing that I have not played very intelligently. Surprise, surprise. I did not prepare for winter properly. I did manage to build a house, but I did not plan ahead. I don't have materials to make warm clothes, and it's going to be a problem. It got hot in the summertime, and that was a small problem, but wintertime is a whole nother ball game. So we're doing some last minute hunting here, trying to get some skins, and I also was kind of worried about my food supply at this point, so we're going to grab a little meat here. But as it turned out, food was not a problem at all. It was a problem during the summertime and early fall, but at this point I do not have any food shortages. Jack is butchering this carcass for skins and meat. Oddly enough, he decided to take the skins back to camp and leave the meat laying on the ground. Vanessa has a cold. I think at this point she also has brain parasites, which is unfortunate. She has a sickly trait, so she is sick all the time. But here is another problem, and it is completely my fault. So you saw we just built a wood-burning stove there. As the snow begins to fall, we're going to go around and close these windows to try to keep things warm. But you can see I have a large indoor space here, and I only have one heater. And I'm only going to have one heater because I don't have the necessary materials to make another one. But it's my own fault because I could have made one. I could have had those materials, as you will see a little bit later. But in the meantime, you can see that snow has covered the ground. Our survivors will build a snowman to alleviate boredom, so that's a nice little feature. But unfortunately, it's going to get very cold. I think at one point it's going to get down to 3 degrees inside. And besides not having warm clothes, the clothes that we have, the clothes that we crash landed with, are disintegrating. Our shoes, our pants, our shirts. So yeah, this is going to be a problem. We've got some hostile insects up here nearby, near our camp, but they're not really going to be a problem this winter. It's my own stupidity that causes our downfall. Or is it a downfall? Well, I guess you'll have to wait and see. We're definitely going to have some problems, but we are not going to run out of food. We've got plenty of food, but we are still experiencing animal attacks. I mentioned the nearby nest of insects, and I think all of the attacks in this video are going to come from that direction. But this is the first time we are actually seeing this larger creature here. So I'm drafting all my people, and we're going to go over to try to take it out before it does too much damage. But you can see I built a fence around the area. I fenced in a stupidly large area, and I built a stupidly large house, which is one of the reasons we're having this problem now, because if I hadn't been doing those things, then maybe other things would have been taken care of. But never mind that. That is history. It is what it is, and we just have to deal with it, and that's kind of the motto of my channel. If you watch my channel, you know I quite often make stupid mistakes and have to deal with them. That's part of the fun of these games. But unfortunately, this time, those fun times will lead to a fatality. because we are experiencing a cold snap, and now Maki has developed hypothermia. So yeah, you guessed it, Maki is on her way out. We are witnessing the last moments of Maki, and she will be missed because she did a lot of work around the camp. Here you can see her approaching the stove here, but she is numbingly cold, and unfortunately, there she goes. Oh, it's wrong to laugh. It's wrong to laugh. Why are you laughing? I'm not laughing. You're laughing. We need to pay tribute to Maki because she did a lot of work for us. And of course, the most fitting tribute I can think of is to place her grave upside down. So I meant to have her grave situated so that we would be facing out, over the fence toward the tree line. But instead, I put the grave so it is kind of facing back toward the cabin. But that makes sense too, because we would not have all this if it wasn't for Maki. But now we have a grave scheduled to be dug, and I think eventually Jack is going to come out here and dig that grave. And I thought that once the grave was ready, that somebody would automatically pick up Maki and bring her out here and bury her. But instead, they left her laying there on the ground for quite a while. They went about their business, I guess, in denial. They're just pretending that she's taking a nap. But eventually, I realized that I needed to select her body and actually tell somebody to bury her. And Jack is having a little snack there. But eventually, he goes over and takes it upon himself to bury Maki. A very sad moment. Jack and Maki and Quinn and Emmeline were the original 4 survivors that crashed here, and then Vanessa showed up later. So, sad times, but, survival needs to go on. I honestly just assumed that everybody was going to die now because Maki was doing so much work. I just thought that once she was gone, the whole thing would fall apart, but damn it. If they did not pull together and in a stirring demonstration of the virtual human spirit, they just kind of automatically divided up Maki's chores. And Jack, you're going to see Jack go do some cooking now. Quinn is over there doing the researching that Jack was doing before. And of course, Vanessa and Emmeline are both obviously doing more work. It's just great. I thought I was going to have to start over. I thought I was going to have to give up on these people and start over, but nope, they are persevering. And Quinn wants to have a celebration for Maki later, and of course we are going to do that. But at this point, Jack has developed life-threatening hypothermia, and so I expected Jack to drop over dead during this little celebration here. He actually sits down in the snow, which doesn't seem very intelligent, but he does make it. But on a change of subject, look at that jump in the contrast there when the time changed. So hopefully they can polish some of those little graphical glitches. I'm actually not noticing that flickering on the screen that I mentioned in the first video. I'll put a link to that video in the description, by the way, if you want to look at it. But there was some flickering going on during the springtime that I'm not seeing. I didn't see it in the summer or the fall or the winter, but I think it returns in the springtime. So hopefully they can polish some of those things. But as you can see, everybody is continuing on. We actually have some more aggressive animals about to attack, but the snow is melting and we can get back to planting some of our crops. And like I said, we never did have a problem with food supply. So our food supply is going well. It's just a question of getting everybody through these extreme weather conditions and surviving these animal attacks. But once again, this attack is coming from that insect nest over here. And I'm going to put my people inside very briefly. I'm going to let them gather inside so they can at least get a little bit warmer before they come out and do battle. But there we go. The bugs are visible at the tree line, so I'm bringing my people out. We have a tower in the corner. Only one person can get in the tower, but put somebody up there with a ranged weapon, and they will do some work. So I'm going to put Emmeline up there. She's got a pistol. The fence is going to be broken, and the bugs will get through, and we will have some injuries. But once again, we will survive this battle. Jack is using both his pulse rifle and his knife, so they do switch back and forth automatically. I was curious about that in the first video. But it looks like everybody else is using their ranged weapons, even though... Oh, okay, it looks like somebody's using a spear up there. And a couple people have bows and arrows. Emmeline has a pistol. Jack has that pulse rifle. And once again, we're going to win this battle. I'm going to go ahead and tell them to butcher these things, even though we technically have enough food. And it's kind of gross eating these insects. But, you know, better safe than sorry. And everybody gets back to work, except, for, of course, for Vanessa, who appears to be bleeding. And it takes a while for somebody to go over there and treat Vanessa. But don't worry, she's going to be okay. Meanwhile, everybody else is just picking up the slack and doing what needs to be done. And there goes Jack, making a weird noise as he treats Vanessa. Jack is going through some grief. He's taking out his stress on this punching bag or punching pillar or whatever the hell that is. Jack did so much damage to the punching pillar that Quinn has to go repair it now. But the snow continues to melt, and looks like Quinn is salvaging our crashed spacecraft, breaking it down. And eventually, we're still technically in the winter time here, but the snow is gone, and it's time to celebrate New Year's Eve. And on this planet, that means winter will be over. But it's at about this point where I realized that I could have actually had another heater inside and possibly saved Maki's life, because all I had to do was to mine stone from rocks to unlock the furnace and to be able to build the furnace. So I could have done this long ago, and all I can say now is sorry, Maki. I've played enough games like this to know to look at things like that and to assume things like that. But yeah, I didn't do that, and it cost us Maki. But we have to live on. We have to endeavor to persevere. So I've marked these rocks to be mined, and when I unpause time, it looks like Quinn is going to mine these rocks, and as soon as he is done and he's heading back to camp, I can look in the menu, and now the furnace is available. Wasn't that easy? So yeah, I could have made another wood-burning stove. I could have put vents in the walls for the bedrooms. I probably, or maybe I could have built some solar panels or possibly a windmill. And we could have had maybe some power going by now. It's hard to say what would have happened if I hadn't been stupid, but I was stupid. And it cost us Maki. My controller is definitely having a dead zone problem. and I'm totally not changing the subject, but our alloys were finished in the furnace in the late evening, but I guess everybody was too tired from their hard day's work to deal with that. And also the appointed hour for our New Year's Eve celebration has arrived. So everybody was going to bed, but then they said, oh yeah, we were going to celebrate. So they go outside and they shoot some fireworks. So I guess we have survived for a year, despite my stupidity. I don't remember if we crashed on the very first day of spring, but I'm going to go ahead and pretend that we have survived for 1 year now. And I'm going to call it a minor victory, even though I do feel bad. I failed Maki. But we have to go on. And yeah, so everybody needs to go inside and get some rest because, you know, we're just getting started here. The next day we had some rain, but somebody finally grabbed the alloys out of the furnace, and the first thing they did was to go in and build this wood burning stove, and now the temperature inside is rising. So yeah, we could have saved Maki. Once again, sorry Maki. But that'll do it for this video. I'm still enjoying this game. I feel like if they polish it up a little bit and add some more content, it will definitely be a worthy competitor for RimWorld, but I like it as it is right now. More videos soon. You never know what game those videos will be, but for now, thanks for watching.